So now, tell me your name and all the positions you hold right now, because you have, after talking to you a little bit, you have a lot of different positions.
Sure. So my name is Trisha Harris Odimgbe. I'm the current TAPA President. I also hold a seat with AAPA's African Heritage Caucus. I'm the president-elect for that as well. I forgot about that. And I actually work with their Health Disparities Work Group. I used to be the chair actually for AAPA's Committee on Diversity. And so I still do work with them in Project Access, which is a program set up to reach out to students who are minorities to encourage them to pursue a career as a physician assistant.
Okay. And you work with Baylor College of Medicine PA program.
Sure. And what I do full time is clinically I'm an emergency medicine PA, but I'm a director in the EC as well. That job allows me to hire cultural competent people. I actually work and supervise PAs and nurse practitioners, and I'm preceptors for PA students and medical students as well.
Okay. So a classic underachiever, but no.
Classic. And 2 years ago, actually, I was very integral in creating a PA fellowship. So we're on our second year for having a PA fellowship. We actually have 4 PAs right now. We're accepting 2 more. So it's going from a 2-spot program to a 6-spot program.
In emergency medicine, right?
Emergency medicine,
okay.
Exactly.
Excellent. So, and you've been a PA practicing for 5 years, right?
Yes.
So what got you interested in the profession to begin with?
I was actually bound for medical school, was working as a medical assistant in a pediatrician's office, and a resident came in who was just doing clinical rotations there, and said if I had to do it all over again, I would go to PA school. And I immediately said, what's a PA? And he's like, look it up. I'm not even going to tell you. It was the best thing he could have ever done. Because I think if he may have told me, I may have shrugged it off. And because he said that, I was like, you're going to be a doctor. Why would you want to be anything else but a doctor? And so I went to look it up. And I was thinking about medical school, but I was recently married, wanted to have kids, wanted to have the flexibility, and I didn't want to be a nurse, even though I very much respect nurses. I wanted to have that autonomy. And so when I looked up the PA profession, it was like, it just unfurled to me. And I was like, where did this profession come from? Where has it been? And I immediately started doing what I needed to do to become a PA.
Great. And tell me a little bit about moving from being a PA in emergency medicine to being in management and everything.
Sure. And like many PAs who are in administrative roles, it usually happens by mistake. Either a doctor realizes that they need PAs and it ends up being a large amount of PAs that they have to manage and they're not sure about the profession, or they realize that this is a leadership role. And I think my boss, who's actually the chief of the EC at Ben Taub Hospital, he was from Mount Sinai, New York, and up north they utilize PAs a lot. So when he got to Ben Taub, he was like, we're all the mid-levels. He's like, it's no way, your district, how can we fund and take care of all these patients? We don't have enough money to hire doctors. So immediately he saw that vision of we need to get mid-level providers in here, and he knew that we need to put someone in place. At that time, I was the only PA there. I'm actually the first full-time faculty PA in the Ben Taub ER. There were 4 other nurse practitioners there, but they did not work for Baylor College of Medicine. They actually worked for the county. And so when he put me into place, I was one PA managing 4 NPs. So you can imagine.
Wow.
You can imagine. But we were kumbaya. I made sure that I let them know right away that we're on the same level. We're here to achieve the same thing, and that's to improve patient care. So we didn't have that friction there. And from there, from me being the only PA to 4 nurse practitioners, we've grown. Now we have 14 mid-level providers there and 5 fellows, PA fellows. So we've definitely grown. We're actually the biggest out of our departments in the Harris County in Ben Taub. We are the largest mid-level providers.
Wow.
So very proud of that. That's not what I'm
saying. When you're interviewing a PA to potentially come on your staff, what kind of things make you really excited?
They have to be diverse. So it's not necessarily the first one, the top of the class that graduated from PA school. It's that person who actually is able to maintain that GPA, but someone that goes out and does something different. Because nowadays, I actually am one of the people who interviewed for Baylor College of Medicine as a faculty member with Baylor. I am a faculty member with the school as well. I look through the applications and I'm amazed myself at how I got through PA school, or how I got accepted to PA school. Everyone is so qualified. Everyone that applies to PA school is qualified. What we're looking for is what makes you different, what makes you stand out, what makes you go above and beyond. And I'm looking for the same thing. When I was first brought to the ER, I was told that my job was to see patients. I kept going and asking questions, and why do we do this way, and why can't we do this? And they're like, what are you talking about? Go see patients. That's your job. That's what we hired you for. And when I hire PAs now, I tell them absolutely not. Your job is not to come here and just see patients. I need your help. I need you to see something and come back to me and say, this is a problem, but Trisha, this is how we can fix it. I need you to be educators, not only of your patients, but of people who are coming behind you. And so we're at an academic facility, so I expect above and beyond for you. And it's not just your job to see patients. And if that's what you're looking for, then you're not the right fit for us.
Great. What, excuse me, as president TAPA, you've gotten to see some changes come about this year. Legislatively, it's been really exciting. What kind of things do you hope to see happen in the profession in the future?
I think the restrictions. So a lot of things, especially for Texas, we're such a big state. We have a good amount of the mid-level providers, but it's still a lot of old language and old laws that we're following that we haven't yet, unfortunately, caught up with. And so a lot of the restrictions on how many PAs that an MD can supervise, obviously that doesn't affect me so much because I'm in an ER setting, so we fall under the facility clause. But a lot of PAs are in situations where, an MD wants to help. They like mid-levels. They want to hire more mid-levels, and they're restricted. The same thing with the supervision. We know our scope of practice, and that's what we have to kind of teach legislators, that we know our scope of practice. I know if I hit something that I can't handle, I'm going to contact my supervising physician. And they're under the pressure that we might go above and beyond that. But the scope of practice has not changed. That has not changed. So we can remove some of those limitations to say, hey, we're working as a team, that I'm just an extension of my physician, that we're here to provide great care for patients and access for patients. If we keep pushing the access, then hopefully one day they'll see that, that team effort is actually going to help improve healthcare.
Cool. Besides getting good grades, what kind of advice would you give to an applicant?
Besides getting good grade, I would say do everything you can to gain experience in everything. Take every opportunity. So, if it's a chance for you to travel overseas, go. If there's a chance for you to learn another language, learn it. If there's an opportunity for you to even step back a little bit and go back and take another class that's going to make you stronger, whether it's even EMT or EKG, do it. Because everything you do, even though sometimes it feels like a setback, it's going to help you. Even me, I applied for medical school, and my story is I applied to the schools and they forgot to process my application. And, then I was heartbroken, but that didn't happen by mistake. Yeah. I'm exactly where I am today because this is where I'm supposed to be. And then I worked as an MA. It was supposed to be for 1 year. It ended up being 5 years. But I was literally running the office. I learned to draw blood from babies. I learned to, do so many procedures as an MA. I was working above an MA, actually. I was functioning as a full-time RN. But when I got into PA school, it was a breeze because I had known all of that. I had gone through it, and nothing can replace real life experience. Even if you're studying through books, nothing can replace real life experience. So I always tell people, make sure you live life, take that opportunity because it doesn't always come.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for interviewing with me, taking the time to talk to us.
My pleasure,
Appreciate it. Thanks.